Hello and welcome back, it's Abaddon Sentinel here. Today I'm bringing you a video about the Chaos Knights that are soon to be released. I'm going to be looking at a couple of pictures of those from an article released yesterday, talking about my likes and dislikes of the new models for those. I'm also going to be looking at the Chaos Space Marine Battalion detachment box that is being released for Apocalypse. I'm going to be talking about the pricing with that, as well as the models included in it, and what I think are pros and cons of that box itself. So I'll not delay it any longer and we'll jump straight in. Okay, so here we have the Coming Soon Heresy Incarnate article. There's a couple of pictures on here of the knights that I'm going to have a look at. Obviously I'm going to be looking at them in terms of painting and the actual model itself. There's not much about the rules out yet anyway. Apparently there's going to be some more articles further in the week going further into that. So we'll just have a quick look at these pictures. It's a bit further down. Obviously we've got the codex there. Okay, so here are the main two pictures I want to have a look at. The first one I believe is what they're calling a Chaos Knight Rampager, and the second one is the Knight Desecrator. So this one's all about close combat, the Rampager. So you can see here there's numerous differences to the standard Knight models. First of all, most noticeable difference really, other than the spiky chaosness, the main thing is probably the legs. Instead of having just a two-section leg, they've got the three-section leg here. So instead of just having a knee, they've got a little double-jointed part to them. Obviously there's the spikes. One thing that I would probably mention about that is Chaos for a long time obviously suffered from the issue of basically being your loyalist stuff but with spikes on it. The more recent Chaos Marine releases seem to have been driving away from that, trying to give them a bit more of their own look and personality, other than just having the spikes on them and kind of just being edgy versions of the loyalist Marines and things. So looking at this, it is nice to see that they've made changes other than just whacking the spikes on there. There are spikes on there, there's some chains, there's the chaos symbols. They kind of need to be on there, but it's good to see that they've made changes other than just adding those on, like the legs. The fact that we've got actual splits in the armour where the horns are coming through, the missing armour panels, actually, I didn't notice the first time I looked at this. It was probably third time I brought this image up to have a quick look at it. Suddenly just struck me that on the top, just above where where the shoulders would be, there's obviously all the exposed pipework and stuff like that, which is a nice little touch, I think. So they're nice models, and I think they're going to be very fun to paint. I'm going to be looking at picking one or two up, probably one, considering they're probably going to be about 120 pounds if they anything like what the other models are. But yeah, it's a nice step in the right direction, I think, because how they were doing it before with the Renegade Knights and things, it was literally just a case of you bought your Loyalist kit and you kind of had to just do a bit of stuff to it yourself. Maybe paint some battle damage on, cut some of the armour pieces up, that kind of stuff, which felt a little bit naff. It just felt like they weren't really putting enough effort into the fact that we wanted Chaos Knights, Renegade Knights, that kind of thing. So it's nice to see these changes where they've actually redone the models in a much bigger way than just kind of going, yeah, you can have some spikes. Now, obviously, you can see there's the half chaos symbols on the shin armor, and the snaky dragon things. Not really sure which they're supposed to be, whether it is a snake or a dragon. But it looks to me like those are probably transfers, so we may well be seeing some chaos specific knight transfers, which would be very nice. There's not much else really to say about these. It's going to be interesting to open them up. I'll probably try and magnetise them like I am doing with my Forge World Chaos Knight. I should be getting another video on that to you soon. But yeah, it's just interesting to see where they're taking these. We've not really seen properly, obviously, like with pictures like this, any of the other classes of knights, if they're going to be doing those, if they're going to be available straight away, or if they be released a little bit further down the line. But it'd be interesting to see those. I'd quite like to see some Chaos armigers and Helverins and things. But yeah, basically, I think they've done quite a nice job, because with regards to the just adding spikes to the loyalist stuff, they couldn't really take too much away from the knight look, I don't think, because you don't want to make it too unrecognisable for what it's actually supposed to be. They couldn't do what they did with the Hellbrutes, I don't think, because in that particular instance, it really was that they needed to separate the Chaos Marines from the Loyalists. In this particular instance, because these guys are big, towering beasts, and you can see a lot more detail on them and things like that, I think it's a lot more about the silhouette that they have, the paint jobs you put on them, so you can't change them too much. So I think what they've done here is actually probably maybe not the best, but probably one of the better ways that they could have done it. So I have to say I'm quite happy with how these are looking. Now I'm going to move on to talk about the Battalion detachment that is available. Click across onto this tab. So here it is. We've got a Chaos Lord in Terminator armour. We've got 30 Chaos Marines, and we have 6 bikes. Now, this is going to be for £100. That's how much Games Workshop are retailing this at. And to be honest, to buy it as this set, you make a hell of a saving compared to if you were to buy it as the individual pieces. So I priced it up, and altogether, to buy these as their individual kits would cost you £162, whereas you can get it in this box for £100. So you know that is more than a third off, which for Games Workshop is quite a big thing, considering most of their like little bundles that you buy, you don't actually even get a discount. It's literally just the cost of if you bought all the pieces individually. It's just handy that you can click on it on the website and add them all to the basket as one item. But in this case, you are actually saving a hell of a lot of money. Now the downside to that is the fact that a lot of people are not keen on these units. I've seen a lot of people that don't like the Chaos Lord and Terminator armour. I don't really personally have that many problems with that model. I do quite like it. Could possibly be updated slightly to fit with the new Terminators, but I don't think it's that dated, to be honest. The Chaos Marines, while they're nice models, a lot of people don't actually use them that much. They don't really have need for 30 Chaos Marines. If they're playing competitively, obviously. I personally don't tend to play competitively. I tend to just have a laugh, take units that I like, and because I like the look of these guys, I'll take Chaos Marines. But I think the main issue that people have had with this has to be the bikers. A lot of people just don't tend to use them. They seem to think that they're very weak, and I've not used them just because I don't have any. Well, not finished putting together. I've got like a single unit. But my main problem with them in terms of this set is the fact that they are still on the older models. They've not been updated to fit in line with the new Chaos Marine models. And you'll be able to see what I mean. If I click across to here, we have one of the bikers, and it's very much the old-fashioned Chaos Marines on there. The bike is still a very dated design. The shoulder pads, the head, the backpack, it's all old school Chaos Marines. And while I liked that at the time, now they've got the new ones, it just feels very dated to me, and it doesn't. I feel like they should have done something more for pushing a box set like this. Like I get the impression that they've got a lot of biker kits spare in whatever warehouse, and they're just kind of like, yeah, we'll chuck them in this, you know, give them at a discount, get rid of them, and we've still earned something from them. And they just look kind of bad now in comparison to the normal Marines. I mean, one of the big things as well that I feel dates it is the backpacks, which is why I've got them set to look at the backpacks. So this is one of the newer Marines that you can get in the set. And if you look at his backpack, it's been tidied up a little bit. It's not got the pipes hanging down. It just seems a little bit more neat, but while still being a bit chaos. If you look at the older one, it feels too old. Like, it's got that feel of the old Chaos Marines. Whereas this backpack, because it's got the extra bits of trim on it, it's got the little claws reaching around the vents there. It just looks so much better, and when you compare it to one of these, you know, it just tells you how dated these models have got. And to me, it just makes it feel like they just not been that bothered with what they've put in the box. They could have redesigned these along with the rest of the Chaos Marine releases, but they didn't do, and it just kind of hurts my eyes when you can have a beautiful model like that. And they've got a couple of pictures up of the different Chaos Marines. I love the new little icon of vengeance, I'm pretty sure that is. Looking through the kits, because it does actually show you the kits on the website. Where is it? Maybe back one. There we go. So there it is on the website, on the actual sprue. I can't really see on there, other than this little one, anything else that looks like an icon. So it doesn't look to me, because I've not actually got my hands on any of the full new Chaos Marine kits yet, but it doesn't look to me like they've particularly updated the other icons. I can't really see them. I've spent a little while trying to find them on the sprue. So I mean, if anyone else has better information on that, obviously comment down below. It'd be interesting to hear from you guys what your thoughts on that are. But yeah, so overall, the Battalion, very worth it if you're actually wanting those units. You do make a hell of a saving, like I say, 2/3 off. So actually, well, not 2/3 off, sorry, 1/3 off over, heading up towards 50% off nearly. But you know, it depends if you got use for these units, or if you're wanting to start up a new army or something like that. But other than that, I think a lot of people are going to avoid this box, to be honest. I'm thinking about getting one, simply because I like the Chaos Marines, and like I say, I don't have any of the new ones yet, other than the Shadow Spear box set. But the bikers, I'm just not bothered with. I think this box could have been a lot better, and I'd have been happy to pay a little bit more for it as well, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll stop waffling now, and I think we'll leave it there on that sad, depressing note. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Remember, if you did, to hit the like button. Comment down below to tell me whether you agreed with what I said, whether you disagree with what I said, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos in the future. See you later.